Hi, class 10. Good morning. How are you guys doing? I hope you're all doing fine, good, and healthy, and keeping home and keeping safe and taking care of yourselves as well as your parents. It's great to be back again. So, I don't know when school is going to open, but I guess this is the only way we'll be in touch. So, till now, or till the future, or till July, August, let's see what happens. So, I am keeping my fingers crossed. Crossed? Crossed. Okay, fine. So let's do it. Today I'm going to start geography, and that is going to revolve around your what do you say, the natural resources and development, resource and development. What is it actually all about? So I'm going to just give you a basic information about it. You know what are resources? What are normal resources? Natural resources, and we have biotic abiotic resources, renewable, non-renewable resources, like if you take it on a basis of ownership, it's individual, community, national and international. Now on the basis of status and development potentials, developed, reverse and stock. Okay, reserve and stock also. So I'll just go through that and I'll tell you, and I'm going to give you notes as well as I'll give you solved question answers for this chapter. So I'll start with resource, and after that I'll take it through, and let's see if I can be of any help to you guys as far as it's concerned. See, like for other uses, resource is actually relates to more than one thing. It's an disambiguation. You know this. It relates to much more things. This resource, what is there? So a resource is a source of supply or supply, source of or supply from which a benefit is produced, and that has some utility. Resource. Example: coal. It's a resource. Forget what resource it is. I'm not talking about any classification. I'm just saying what's a resource. I'm giving you an example. We dig up coal. The other minerals also come out with it, isn't it? Maybe it can come out. Everything is under the earth. So coal comes out. We do transporting. We get an incoming from it. We send it to factories. It is burnt. We send it to homes. It is used for cooking. It's coming into some utility, right? Petrol is coming out, diesel is coming out, kerosene is coming out. Okay, so these are the things. On a basic example I'm giving you. Resources can be broadly classified upon their availability. Now what is available to us, on that we are going to classify it. They are classified into renewable and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are which we get back again. Even if it's finishing, we are getting it, but non-renewable takes time. Maybe it might not come back. If we don't save it, it goes away. So they can be also be classified as actual and potential. What are the actual uses of it and what's the potential of that, on the basis of the development and use, how it is being used for the development, what development is being done, and what is it being used for. On the basis of origin, they can be classified as biotic and abiotic. Okay, now what is biotic and abiotic? And on the basis of the distribution, ubiquitous and localized. That's ubiquitous and localized is private, community owned, natural and international resources. That depends upon the biotic and abiotic. Okay, an item becomes a resource with time and developing technology. An item becomes a resource. Suppose we dig out something, we don't know what is it to be done, but suddenly with developing technology gives us the information about it and it comes into the utility area. Then we give it a name, isn't it? The benefits of resource utilization may include increased wealth, proper functioning of a system, or enhanced well-being. For a human perspective, a natural resource is anything obtained from the environment. For us, whatever we are getting from the environment, it's like oxygen. It's environment. But we sometimes don't think that this oxygen is also coming in through Brazil, from the Amazon forest. South America. They give a lot of oxygen to the whole world. But we think, oh, in Bihar we have got so much of oxygen, so nice. But actually, their oxygen is also been traveling around the whole world. So we think it's a natural resource. Is anything obtained from the environment to satisfy human needs and wants? We know that. But if we look it on a broader side of biological and ecological perspective, a resource satisfy the needs of a living organism, okay, which is called a biological resource. Now, what is a biological resource? We have to come to know that also, isn't it? In biology and ecology, a resource is a substance or an object in the environment required by an organism for normal growth, for its maintenance and reproduction. Resources can be consumed by one organism and as a result become unavailable to another organism. That we can go details, I can give it to you, we can go in a different part of it, I'll give it to you in a much more elaborated way. Now, a resource satisfies a needs living, or sometimes I have water, sometimes the guy next to me or 15 kilometers away from me does not have water, that guy has to walk about 20 kilometers for water. Simple knowledge. One living organism has it and someone doesn't have it, or for getting it he has to work hard for it. The concept of resources have been developed across many established areas of work: economics, biology, ecology, computer science, management and human resources. For example, linked to the concepts of competition, sustainability, conservation and stewardship. In application with human society, commercial or non-commercial factors, resource allocation through resource management. If we don't manage our resources properly, we won't be able to use it. The utility of it will be, it will be extravagance. We will not use it properly. It's going to get manipulated. So, what is a competition? Okay. Whenever two parties have a goal which cannot be shared, link of the concepts of human resources. Like if we go into terms of economics, economics is the social science that studies the production, distribution and consumption of goods and services, okay, of the resources, correct? In biology, what happens? Again, it's the natural science that studies life and living organisms, including their physical structure, chemical process, molecular interaction, physiological mechanism, development and evolution. Despite the complexity of the science, there are certain unifying concepts that consolidate it. Now, the natural science studies life and organism, that living organism, what utility, what resource it's using to grow, what process is going through it when it's using that utility or the resource. Okay, economics I told you, biology I told you, and in ecology is a branch of biology again, concerning the interaction among organisms and their biophysical environment, which includes both biotic and abiotic components. Topic of interest include biodiversity, distribution, biomass, population of organisms, and well as corporation and competition. Now, it's a branch which tries to see that organism, that living organism, is it able to adapt on that biophysical environment, which biotic and abiotic symptoms are there. How is it trying to get to in that weather, in that atmosphere, in that climate? How is it growing? What are the needs? That is what ecology is doing. Computer science, what is computer science doing for us? Computer science is the study of computation and information. Computer science deals with theory only. Algorithms, computational problems and the design of computer system, hardware, software applications. Computer science addresses both human made and natural. It can give you all information. Okay, that's what it does. And management is there. Management is the administration who is actually made this organization where it is a business, a non-for-profit, it's a not-for-a-profit organization, where it is a business, a not-for-profit organization or government body. Management includes the activities of setting the strategy of an organization and coordinating with the efforts to its employees to accomplish its objectives. Now, it's not a government body, this organization, this management. Neither it's a non-profit organization. It does not do business. It only tries to set up the things, how they are going to use these resources, and after that the government comes in, they are going to take it's going to be a profitable organization. And human resources. What are human resources? Are the set of the people who make up the workforce, manpower of an organization, business sector, industry, economy. A narrow concept is human capital. That's where the population comes in. The knowledge which the individuals embody similarly includes manpower, labor, personal associates, or simply manpower. Again, economics will come in. According to the manpower, they'll see that amount of supply is there or not. Biology will check that are these people getting the right food or not, are they going to have it, and ecology is going to see how are they going to cope up with this. Computer science will come and tell us all what is the hardware and what is the software and all. They'll make a report of it. Management will manage it. Human resources are there. Without the human resource, no damn thing is going to happen. So human resources is very important. Even to dig up, even to put a plant, we need a human. We cannot, without human resources, we can't do it. A robot cannot come and put a plant. Okay, but after 150 years or 70, 80 years, you might be seeing the robots doing farming, which is not done. That taste of that food won't be good. It depends upon the hand, also the man who's planting it, it brings in taste. In the application, now what is, we have told you what happens in economics with these resources: biology, ecology, computer science, management, human resources. For example, it is linked to the concepts of competition, where only one can strive, one party can strive, everybody cannot strive. Sustainability. What is sustainability? It is the ability to exist constantly. In the 21st century, it refers generally to the capacity of the biosphere and human civilization to coexist. It is also defined as the process of people maintaining change in a homeostasis. Okay, balanced environment in which exploitation of resources happen directly. Sustainability is the ability to exist in that according to the resources we have to keep on civilizing. Human civilization has to coexist with this constant biosphere and human civilization together with the resources, maintaining a change in homeostasis. Balanced environment. We have to have that balanced network in which exploitation of resources directly happen. That is we have to control that. What is conservation? I'll come back in the next video. Okay.